in a desperate bid to stem the tide of asylum seekers at the border, Biden is expected to sign an executive order that would place new restrictions on asylum seekers filing claims. My understanding is that the restrictions are if you ever get 2,500 asylum seekers filing their claim or more than 2,500 in a week averaged, then the border does not issue any more asylum, it doesn't process any more asylum seekers until the overall number goes down to 1,500. It's something like that. It's some procedural, like here is some technical numbers way. Oh yeah, here we go. The order would be applied each day that 2,000... Oh, unauthorized border crossings are registered. That's nice. That's nice, So we're punishing all the asylum seekers just for the people who are doing the unauthorized border crossings. U.S. officials currently making just under 4,000 apprehensions at the border daily, CNN reported. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Why the f did they try catering to conservatives? I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. There is a crisis at the border, right? I don't support this way of handling it, but it is undeniable. We are getting a wild number of people coming up through the southern border. And it's just, I don't have an issue with immigrants. It's just logistically difficult to manage that many people coming in. It's not just Republicans who are clamoring for this. The border fear-mongering stuff is pretty broadly, it's mostly a Republican thing, but it's pretty broadly out there. It's not good. It's not good, folks. What would you do? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. I kind of don't. I don't know. There are some things, but they're so involved. More judges. I mean, we need more money, but money, like funding allocations, have to go through Congress, and that's not an executive order thing. Yes, you're all very leftist. Thank you for the 5 years. Yeah, we know, and I've said it before plenty of times too. Yes, maybe if we could flatten America, it'd be more stable and we wouldn't have this issue. I know, but in immediate policy sense, it's pretty difficult. Mike Johnson.
We've confirmed that the White House saying the president is going to take executive action on the border. You've been pushing him on to do that for a long time. We don't know what it is yet, but do you give him credit for at least taking that step?
I don't, Shannon. It's too little, too late. Now he's trying to desperately show the American people somehow that he wants to address the issue that he himself created. We documented 64 specific executive actions that President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas at DHS took over the course of the last 3.5 years, beginning on the first day that President Biden took office to open the border wide. They did it intentionally, and it has had catastrophic effects upon our country.
Unfortunately, I don't know what you could do here that would work, that wouldn't require Congress. From Biden's perspective, I don't know what you could possibly do that could be done exclusively through executive action. I genuinely have no idea. I'm not sure. Maybe there are some good leftist editorials out there that have a novel solution. I can't really think of anything.
Country that we'll be living with for decades to come. And now he wants to issue some sort of executive order, I guess, to show that, oh, no, he really does care.
He controls the military. Yeah, but this isn't a military problem. The main issue really is that we just need more money going towards asylum judges. I mean, we need much more money being put into the process of look, from a purely economic perspective, think of it this way. An American is non-contributing to society until 18, maybe 16, depending on their work, but let's just say 18. How much money does it take to raise an American from 0 to 18? A lot. It takes a lot of time and money and energy and effort. How much time and money and energy and effort does it take to process one asylum seeker? And once you're done, in a lot of cases, you have an adult coming on in. Are they fully educated? In some cases, no. Do they speak English? In a lot of cases, no. Is it still more worthwhile, purely from a economic perspective, having them in as a supplement to our nation's workforce? Yes. Especially because a lot of them don't even, that was very specific, Hersbird. A lot of them don't even work jobs where they need to speak English that well. They do agricultural jobs where they're abused horribly by farmers who pretend to be like homesteading Texan independents when in reality they're like small business owners who abuse 400 undocumented immigrant workers who they'll report to ICE if they don't like work for $3 an hour. Many such cases.
About the issue. The only reason he's doing that is because the polls say that it's the biggest issue in America. Every state's a border state. I've traveled to over 29 states, done events in 100.
Correction. Not every state is a border state. Just little factual correction there that I'm issuing. Not every state borders Mexico. Just making that clear.
17 cities as of yesterday over the last 6 months.
Is it really a good thing to bring in people who can't communicate with the average American? How are they supposed to integrate? Dog, that's all of America's history. What do you mean? We brought in the Italian. Do you think the Italians who came in, who ended up being one of the like largest and most influential ethnic groups to integrate into American society, do you think they spoke English? The Italians who came in like 1906? They didn't speak English, man. No, that's just how it is. Chinese. I mean, a ton of the people who built America were what we would now call Mexicans who didn't necessarily speak English. I'm not, pardon me for getting woke with you guys, but a lot of the people who literally built America didn't speak English because they were slaves. They were brought over here from Africa. I mean, their kids got taught English in a lot of cases, but that happens here too, Chinese laborers on the railways. Yeah. Nah, immigrants are good. Immigrants are good, asterisk. And not everything is always everything good, right? Like, there are always conditions, but America's in a place where we can take in the immigrants that we do as long as things are handled well and we appropriately structure our society to accommodate. We can do the work. Yes, I agree, Intelligent Donkey. We're completely right now, there are like, 14 million undocumented immigrants in America. We are completely dependent on them. But they exist in a weird sort of legal temporal state. It's like a Schrodinger's American occupant, where it like we completely rely on them and we pretend that they're just like a leech here when they're objectively not. Gonna get worse with climate change. What if climate change is for the good, huh? Don't be so negative.
There is an energy out there. People are motivated. And the first question that comes up in almost every public forum is, what about that open border and why in the world would President Biden allow it? He did more than allow it. He engineered it. And everybody knows that.
We'll see how it goes. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to like defend Biden here. I guess I just legitimately don't know what can be done, because you can't, as much as it would be nice in the long run, the solution here is not literally dissolve the border. That's not possible. Outside of like LARPy leftist Twitter solutions, I don't really know what you can do. I don't really know what you can do from Biden's perspective. If we had Congress putting forward suggestions, then yes, something could be done. Wouldn't it be better if he done nothing? Well, it's politically difficult if he does nothing. And also there are a lot of problems with just having a bunch of people flood into the US. I think in this instance, it would be better if he did nothing at all. But the ongoing state of affairs is unsustainable, And politically, he is demanded to do more. So there's that as well. Why can't Dems get funding for border processing through Congress? Because Congress would then have to vote in it, and they would have to vote the right way. And that's the problem.